Okay. So if I sell a call, then so I'm the seller. You won't be able to see this for 1 second, but you'll see it in a minute. So give me a second. Then someone else has the right to buy stock from me. Okay. So let's start with this part here. So if I sell a call, then the person who owns the contract that I sold to them has the right to buy stock from me. If I'm covered, that means I own the stock. If I do not own the stock, I cannot sell the call, at least based on the way markets tend to work. That's what you call a covered call. There's also another type of call called a naked call. That's so rare and so disallowed that I don't even teach that. There's no point. None of us can. I can't even do a naked call because that's one of the riskiest trades you can make. Okay, so if I sell a call, I get cash, and someone else has the right. They get rights, and their right is to buy the stock from me, which means I must own the stock. So now let's go to a put. If I sell a put, then someone has the right to sell the stock to me. So I just take the word buy, replace it with the word sell. So that means that you can call it if I'm covered, or, and I'll explain that further. But if I'm covered, that means I have the cash. Okay, and so this is why they call it a cash secured put. So a covered call means that I sold someone the right to buy stock from me. By being covered, that means I have the stock that they're going to buy. So when you sell a covered call, they check your account to make sure you have enough shares to sell the contracts that you're selling. It's like if you're selling land, someone may verify that you actually own the land. Because imagine the chaos if people were able to come and go out and sell land that they don't actually own. But if you sell a put, you're selling someone the right to sell, not the right to buy. Just take the word buy, switch it with sell. These two definitions are exactly the same. Calls and puts are just evil twins of each other. So here, if I sell a put, then someone has the right to sell the stock to me, which means if I'm covered, or you might use the word secured, they call it a cash secured put, then that means I have the cash to buy. So in the case of selling a put, I gotta have cash. If I sell a call, I gotta have shares. Okay. Any questions? Kevin says, under what conditions should one sell an in the money put? That's a great question, and we'll definitely get to that, Kevin. Good question. All right, so let me pull this down, and looking for the right button here. There we go. All right, so let me reshare the slides, and let's jump through a few so we can get to some real examples, so we can sort of see where the money lives. All right, so here, continuing with selling puts. So here's an example of a secured put strategy. So let's say that you have a stock that's $50 and you want to buy it, but you don't want to pay $50 for it. So what you could do is theoretically, you could sell a cash secured put for, let's say, $2. That means you could receive money to be the guaranteed buyer of this asset if the price drops. So, and let's say you have 2 weeks on this option, then for every contract that you own, you then would get $2 per share. So every contract is 100 shares, which means I collect $200 for every 100 shares I promise I will buy. Okay, so you're getting money just to make the promise. That's your money. You get to keep that no matter what. And then let's say the stock ends the week at 43. My strike price is 45. So the stock went below 45, which means I now have to fulfill the contract. Somebody's going to collect on that. They're going to say, okay, you promised you'd buy it at 45. So you got to buy it at 45. So you look at this example, and if you ever want to understand, like, well, why would someone not sell the put? Well, because there's a little bit of risk there. Like, so it's because if the stock drops to 43 and you promise to buy it at 45, you got to pay more than the market price of that stock. So you may feel some kind of way